Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
When people are fed, futures are nourished. They can connect with the world around them, unlock endless possibilities, and thrive. Join the movement to end hunger. Volunteer. Advocate. Donate. Go to feedingamerica.org/actnow.
Mississippi's trusted weather experts. This is Mississippi Live Weather at 10.
Well, how good have these conditions been this weekend? I mean, an absolutely phenomenal forecast, one that you can only dream of this time of year. I'm meteorologist Gabe Maynard here for Mississippi Live Weather at 10, and what we're going to be discussing is a multitude of things. Just how long do those cool temperatures stick around? Well, I mean, here's a little sneak peek. We are going to see them stick around into early parts of our work week. What we're also tracking here at the Room to Room Weather Center is isolated showers moving in, and that's a result of that stationary front further to our south, and we'll be walking through when to exactly expect those here coming up on Mississippi Live Weather at 10. And the latest news is that Dexter is here. Well, not here, but it's actually developed into Tropical Storm Dexter. We'll be walking through the path of that and if we can expect anything here in North Mississippi as a result from Dexter. It's been a while since we've had a named storm, so finally getting that Atlantic activity picked up just a bit. So we'll be walking through that here in just a moment. Let's first start with the here and now. What are we seeing here in North Mississippi? And it's just the temperatures. 73 degrees there in Aberdeen, paired with beautiful clear skies overnight. Should be a fantastic forecast to enjoy any late night activities on your Sunday. But if you have a student or teacher in the house, make sure to remember that you do have school tomorrow. So trying to get to bed a little bit early. Stay for this broadcast, and I promise I'll try and finish up as soon as I can so we can all head to bed and be ready for the work week and school week ahead. 70 degrees in Oxford, and the fact that we're talking about 10 o'clock already being in the possible upper 60s in some spots, that is, again, just a forecast you can only dream of. And again, with that is going to be beautiful skies there in the Lafayette County area, and not just in Lafayette County. We're also tracking it here in Lee County. Saltillo showing some active roadways. Folks heading home from the beautiful weekend. Hopefully they're heading home from the park because, I mean, that was a place to be this weekend with the great conditions that we did have. But roadway is going to calm down. Skies continue to stay calm. It's going to be a good looking forecast going forward. Our radar right now in clear air mode, and the reason why is because there's not anything in regards to precipitation close by. I'm going to zoom in on a focal point, and that is going to be Pickens County, a hot spot here over the weekend for some of those isolated showers. We circulate that back around 3 hours. You can see it had an outflow boundary that those showers were trying to follow there through Gordo, barely missed Aliceville, dissolving before it reached the town of Aliceville. So fortunately, we're still on the drier side, but those showers did try to move in ever so slightly. But luckily, I mean, we've been on the drier side all weekend long. And although we do need rainfall, I know that for weekend activities, we want to get outside and enjoy that drier air. I'm going to stand over here to kind of show you what we saw in the area, but basically it's been this right on the outskirts. I mean, this is as defined of a line as you can have for our northwest counties. Just here in North Mississippi, staying dry. Everywhere east, so a whole different story. I mean, up just outside of Florence, about 3/4 of an inch. Same thing. I'm going to try and get it exactly. There we go. 3/4 of an inch outside of Marion County. And that one that was trying to get into Pickens County, I mean, it was just over an inch. Tuscaloosa County, the difference between two counties, right? I mean, you're talking about 2 inches in Tuscaloosa County. Here in Pickens County, the highest extent we got was about 1/10 of an inch. So definitely some better conditions, and folks in Alabama, a whole different story. Walking through a little bit of that forecast, I do want to point out that an individual did pass there in Alabama as a result of some flash flooding, and we'll be walking through that a little bit more in detail of what exactly was seen. But I want to say that rainfall, heavy rainfall over a short period of time is very dangerous and still life-threatening. So I hope that you guys do heed those warnings. The turn around, don't drown is not just something we say. It needs to be something we live by because we want you folks to stay safe even when it's just a brief heavy downpour. Keep in mind, a heavy downpour is not severe weather, but it can still be impactful. So our thoughts and prayers are with their family, and we just don't want any more lives to be lost going forward. So just heed those warnings, please, with the extended forecast that we'll be tracking here in just a moment. First 12, 11 p.m., mid-70s, low 70s by 2, 69 by 5 a.m. And that is as good of a forecast as you can get. I want to point out that some areas are already cooling off. Lafayette County already just outside of the upper 60s, so expect some cooler conditions in some locations towards tomorrow morning, but clouds moving in a result of that moisture down south. And reason why is this big L down south, that low pressure center that's circulating in a bit of that Gulf moisture. That's going to be a big driver to our forecast moving forward. It's just a matter of how far can this low shift to the west to impact our forecast. And further it shifts west, the more moisture we'll see enter into North Mississippi. So we're tracking that heading into the next 24 hours because our rain chance is very dependent on the positioning of that low. As we walk through Futurecast right here, just pay attention to the movement of the low and that stationary front. You can kind of see slightly transitioning to the west. And yes, even though it's that very little bit of motion that we're getting, that very little bit of motion matters to that extended forecast because the cloud cover already becoming a bit higher magnitude there for our Monday 3 a.m. and especially there towards 7 a.m. So we are tracking that batch of moisture moving in, but it's also going to be these showers. You see how it's kind of wrapping around that low, extending into Lewisburg, Huntsville, and Coleman, there towards Tennessee and Alabama. Well, guys, we are right on the outskirts, similar to how it was today, and that's why we're watching that low for the defining of our rain chances moving forward. So Monday morning, where that low is positioned right now, staying on the drier side. But as the morning goes on, you can see still shifting out towards the west, and whenever it gets directly on the south side of Mississippi, it is not an impossibility at all to get some of these showers moving into, we're talking about the Alabama state line. So that's the best chance of seeing some of those showers move into the area for the start of our Monday. Really not expecting it to, though. It's going to be still on the drier side. It's primarily towards the afternoon where we track the higher magnitude of a few of those pop-up showers. You can see just wrapping around that low moving a bit more to the west. And so the positioning, I mean, that's going to be key to everything that we talk about moving forward with rain chances in regards to just how much we'll see. You might also see that stationary front transitions a little bit north, so that's going to assist in some more rain chances for folks down south. So watching the positioning of this low, watching the positioning of this front, and that interaction will produce some rain chances for late Monday and really into our Tuesday as well. So the next 24, not overly high on rain chances. We're talking 10% to 20% late Monday evening. So any plans you may have, getting outside, trying to take advantage of that drier air, may need to have an umbrella paired with it. Mississippi Live Weather app, perfect app to tell you when those showers are moving in. I mean, immediate alerts just like that. But I do want to say, with those possible rain chances, we are still getting very, very good weather for this time of year with those temperatures mid to upper 80s. Again, that is a forecast you can only dream of this time of year. So one of the things we'll be walking through here in the next 60 will be the extended forecast with those rain chances. Just how much rainfall can we expect? Is there any inclement weather coming with that? As well as the latest on Dexter. We know that it has just formed here within the last 30 minutes. So we'll be walking through a little bit more on what to expect with that tropical storm and will it impact us here in North Mississippi. All of that coming up right here on Mississippi Live Weather in the next minute.
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/team up.
March 24th, 2023 was a normal Friday. You know, we knew the weather was not good, but we needed to take shelter and we didn't have shelter. My husband and almost 2-year-old daughter, Ethan and Riley, they did lose their lives in the storm. We're still recovering from it. We'll always be recovering from it. Matt Lawpon cares about the community. He's not just there to collect a paycheck. I feel like Matt Lawpon has proven himself trustworthy.
Right now, from the Mississippi Live Weather Center, here's meteorologist Gabe Maynard.
So with all the cooler weather we've been seeing, it just inspired me, or should I say, my wife did tell me to make this graphic because it's just a great time to see when those cold temperatures are finally going to move in. It just gave us a little sneak peek of what fall could bring. Fall, 50 days away. Start the countdown because I am ready to get that fall season started. Football, cooler weather, sweatshirts, the ability to wear a suit and not sweat, that is a great thing for us here at Mississippi Live Weather. Winter, 140 days, so a bit of a further stretch out, but then Christmas, 144 days. Start the shopping early, never too early. And New Year's, you can see 151 days. Yes, we are past that halfway mark, heading into 2020. What are we in? 6. Wow. We're going to be closer to 2050 than we are 2000. Is that unreal to you guys? Well, it is to me. So countdown to cold, it's definitely happening, and we are counting down every single day. High temperatures, we're talking about mid to upper 80s is what we got across the area. One low 90 there in Greenwood, but that, again, that's below average significantly for where we typically should be at this time of year. And on top of that, we had blue skies. So we had the sunshine to warm us up. It just didn't happen. We enjoyed, what should I say? I said low 90. Columbus, I was covering you up. Columbus coming in with 90 as well. Looking at temperatures now, though, we are cooling off greatly. 70 there towards Tunica and Oxford, 72 over towards Corinth, 79 in Columbus, and 78 Macon and Aliceville. Reason why is because that moisture, again, further south and east, so that area is going to see a little bit higher temperatures, those clouds blanketing the sky, not allowing that heat to escape, so continue to keeping on with those warmer temperatures. The rest of us, low to mid 70s, dropping into the upper 60s towards tomorrow morning. It's going to be a picture-perfect forecast yet again. Our Mississippi Live Weather Radar, I'm going to stand over here so you can kind of visualize that line of storms that produce that outflow boundary, and that outflow boundary extended all the way into North Mississippi. We've been very fortunate to not get any showers to form along that boundary, so far staying on the drier side. Only area where we got rainfall was down there along Pickens County, but everywhere else it just dissolved once it entered our viewing area. What can I say? I guess it's good luck. But what I wanted to talk about, and we hinted at this a moment ago, was how much rainfall we've seen there towards Alabama. And I'm just going to look at things in the expanded forecast. You can kind of see over the past 2 days, some of those outputs, I want you to pay attention to the top of your screen. We're talking 6 to 9 inches in that purple area, and we got that just on the outskirts of Gadsden and Oxford in multiple areas. So unfortunately, I believe it was a car that drove into a flooded area, and that individual did pass away. And our thoughts and prayers are with them. But we just want you guys to stay as safe as possible in these brief downpours, because 1, 2, 3 hours with that much rainfall can cause a significant flooding threat, and we want everyone to stay safe when that happens, if that were to happen. Hopefully it doesn't, and hopefully we just continue to get those drier conditions with an isolated shower here and there. But I just want to emphasize that. Continue to pray for the family, and hopefully you guys just stay safe here in the next several days with those isolated showers in the forecast. Day planner for your Monday, you can see starting off on the cooler side, low 70s before climbing into the mid 80s by the afternoon. Still getting a good batch of sunshine, but it is going to be a bit cloudier than what we've been seeing. So it's a result of that moisture moving in and a result of that low. Again, the positioning of that low will be key to our forecast tonight, tomorrow, and all week long heading into the start of our work week. Futurecast, here's a look at that 2 a.m. threshold and into the early hours of our morning commute. Teachers, students waking up, heading out the door. Should be a great forecast for that. You do see a little bit of those isolated showers trying to move in. I do have a mostly dry forecast for the start of our Monday with mostly cloudy skies paired with that. So what that'll do is, it'll be paired with some cooler temperatures, but it's going to kind of prevent that heat from moving into the forecast and really heating up our atmosphere. A great sign whenever you're starting in the mid to upper 60s across the region. Golly, 70 looks warm on this graphic. Can you believe that? Tell me that 5 days ago and I would not believe you one bit. But the fact that we're getting a cooler start to the day with very little daytime heating, it's going to be a comfortable forecast all day long. So taking the kids to school, 71 at drop off and 86 as we pick up the kids. You might notice not a chance of rainfall expected in that immediate forecast, especially towards the early to mid-afternoon. But beyond that, that's where we could get some of those rain chances moving into the forecast. Looking at that right here, Monday morning still staying on the drier side, but mostly cloudy conditions extending across really the eastern part of our viewing area, but all the way west to I-55. The day continues on. By lunchtime, that cloud cover still generally around that same part of our viewing area. And towards the early afternoon, still staying on the drier side, but that cloud cover just lingering all day long. So by the time we get towards 3, 4, 5 o'clock, it's where we could get some of these brief isolated showers that develop close to Attala, Choctaw, and Winston County. Now those become a bit more numerous as we head through the day, but still very isolated in nature and very non-impactful. We're not getting those yellows and oranges in regards to some of those heavier precip storms. What we're getting right here is just going to be a light to moderate rainfall with a few of these. So Monday, it's really going to be the temperatures. The story of the cooler weather, where those clouds are blanketing the sky, we're talking low 80s, but the further west you go, where you get that clearing, sunshine warming up the atmosphere, and we're going to be upper 80s, low 90s, the further west we go. And looking at those heat indices as well, I mean, still following that same trend, cooler out to the east, but warming up further west, and especially, it's still a dry forecast, so those temperatures not too much different, or should I say the feels like values, not too much different than the temperatures. Enjoy it. Rarely do we get that kind of good weather this time of year. Monday evening, those isolated chances do try to stick around, so that's why I have late afternoon into the evening for our best chances of seeing those showers. Still 10 to 20% coverage on a few of these storms, so not overly high, but as the night goes on, those chances really dissolve on out, and we'll see drier conditions into the start of our Tuesday. Now, mostly cloudy skies once again in the forecast, and as we head into our Tuesday, that cloud cover will linger around and then produce these off and on showers. And what's different between isolated and off and on showers is the fact that when you're making a commute, you might be turning your windshield wipers on 3 to 4 different times, depending on how far you're driving. But the reason why is because they're so small, but still impactful in those small areas. So that's why we have to keep flipping those windshield wipers on and off. It's just a little bit annoying, but we'll take any rainfall that we can get here in North Mississippi as that drought becomes more and more of a concern. But that's what's going to highlight our afternoon forecast. There will be some breaks to enjoy some of those afternoon activities, but just have that rain gear ready just in case, because where these showers do pop up, heavy downpours are definitely possible. You see more of those red returns coming in with a few of these storms by mid to late afternoon. Some of those deeper reds showing that you do have some high storm tops, so going to be producing some heavy downpours, probably a few strikes of lightning with these as well. So don't be surprised to hear a few rumbles of thunder as the evening goes on. 10 p.m. still seeing some of those heavier portions stick around there towards Chickasaw and Webster, and or should I say Chickasaw, Clay, and Webster, and then one out there towards Monroe County. So a more active Tuesday, and it will be another active Wednesday, but that's really it for our highest rain chances this week. Not overly high on that. And high temperatures for our Tuesday, with all of those rain chances sticking around, still reaching the mid to upper 80s. So again, a not bad forecast for our Tuesday, and heat indices follow that same trend. With the moisture returning, you'd think the mugginess would rise as well. Fortunately for us, not the case, because that rain-cooled air is going to keep those temperatures and feels like values at bay. But forecasted rainfall, here's a look at the tomorrow forecast. Still very isolated in nature. Now, what this does is it just kind of shows the possibilities of where those showers could pop up, but this is not what exactly is going to happen. And 0.1 inch, or should I say 0.01 inches, yeah, it's showing way underwhelming values on that. What that means is whenever it's confined to one of those storms, which we're going to be very minimal on storm coverage tomorrow. Where those storms do pop up, brief heavy downpours can take place, and you could see upwards of 1 to 2 inches in some locations with some of those pop-up showers. So don't expect hundredths of an inch spread across the entire viewing area. Expect multiple tenths of an inch in very confined locations. And same thing goes with that next 5-day forecast. It shows some decent chances of seeing rainfall all across the viewing area of North Mississippi, but still isolated locations could get 0.5, 1, maybe even 2 inches over that 5-day span. So something we're watching for. And again, reiterating, safety in those heavy downpours is key. Turn around, don't drown. Let's be on the safe side. The good thing with those rain chances, we're not expecting any severe weather. That one level 2 risk out there towards Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. Some large hail developing over there towards Kansas, might I add. Monday sees that level 1 risk primarily staying towards Montana, Nebraska, Kansas, and all the way up into South Dakota. And then heading into Tuesday, you can see where that severe weather risk lies a far distance away. There we go. We got to line it up from North Mississippi. So not expecting any severe weather with that threat, but we are going to get some brief heavy downpours with a few of those storms. That's really the extent of what to expect. Here's a look at Tropical Storm Dexter, just developing here in the last hour or so. Our 4th named storm in the Atlantic this year. So it's been a slow season, but that's a good thing for us because it means that we're not going to, that it's been underwhelming so far. So looking at the latest numbers, 45 mile an hour wind gusts on this, 1,002 millibars on our lowest pressure on that system, moving east-northeast at about 12 miles an hour. So extending up that northern Atlantic area, far away from the United States, so we're going to continue to take that as long as we can. And looking at the water vapor, I mean, this is satellite imagery of the storm, circulating in a lot of that moisture still into the storm. So that's why that Saharan dust not really circulating in there. So it's going to continue to strengthen just a bit as it moves northeast. Wouldn't be surprised to see this produce up to a Cat 1 at its peak intensity, but this is just a freshly named storm as it moves across the Atlantic coast. Could get some of those showers wrapping around there towards Virginia and North Carolina, but as it moves further away, those rain chances become very low. So we were very fortunate that this is going to be moving away from the United States and not towards, because that definitely could be a high rainfall event. 7-day forecast shows rainfall, but not a high rainfall event here for North Mississippi. And we're not getting Dexter, but we are just going to get those pop-up showers with that stationary front lingering every single day. Monday, very isolated. Tuesday, Wednesday, that's our peak coverage at about 30%, and then isolated coverage beyond that point through the latter part of the weekend into next weekend. You might notice temperature-wise, yes, we're going to be mid-80s for Monday, upper 80s come Wednesday, low 90s as we wrap up the week, and then by next weekend, that's where we could be returning to our normal average this time of year. So the fact that we've had, what would that be, a 9-day stretch where we are below average for our high temperatures, again, a forecast you can only ask for, and we will take every second of that here in North Mississippi. So we will walk you through that forecast in more detail at 5, 6, and 10 tomorrow evening. Latest outlook on Dexter and what to expect with it. Again, not expecting any impacts here in the United States, but keeping eyes on it just in case, as well as other storms in the Atlantic trying to form over the next 7 days. We'll be keeping a close eye on the Atlantic for any impacts that we could see here in the United States. Beyond that, enjoy the cooler weather. And one of the best ways to keep updated with the forecast, especially with isolated showers in the forecast, is with the Mississippi Live Weather app. Make sure to go to iOS and Android today to download the latest and greatest in weather technology. Keeps you posted with immediate alerts of heavy rainfall in your location, lightning alerts, everything you need to know. And even if there's severe weather, which we've been lacking, fortunately, over the past few months, or should I say month, that Mississippi Live Weather has been in existence. So we've been grateful that it's not been too active of a pattern, but if anything were to be produced, well, it would alert you the latest on that. So make sure to download it today, get the 7-day, get the hourly, everything you need to know right at the palm of your hands. We thank you so much for joining us tonight at 10. We'll see you back here tomorrow evening at 5 o'clock for the very latest on what to expect with that North Mississippi forecast. Have a great start to the week, and students, enjoy your your first full week back in the classroom. We're praying for you guys and know that it will be a great year. Keep it back here for the latest. We'll see you back here tomorrow night at 5.
You need some help?
Your tow chains are a little loose. Could spark a wildfire. I could show you how to secure them properly if you'd like.
Sure. Thanks a lot.
Anytime. You should check out SmokeyBear.com. They've got a bunch of tips on wildfire prevention.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
I'm an ex-drug dealer, and I'll be your sub today. Two milligrams of fentanyl can be lethal. A lethal dose is in here. Who gets it, I won't know.
It's cheap, it's potent, and it's profitable.
The sad reality is fentanyl is being mixed into everything now.
More kids should know.